Alright. Sorry, I'm a little late. No, don't save my sweat. Don't save the layout. Alright. Got a couple people here, it looks like, and a lot of people probably watching Steve. Put some socks on, so I feel good about that. And let's look at some cardboard. Good there. Mic is working. Alright. The sock on. Just got out of the shower. I just woke up. So I've seen everything that was spoiled through last night. I don't know anything else that showed up. So let's look at this together. Kind of a list of things I would like to see. I'd like to see the Wind LB be Theatrhythm support. I think that'd be a really neat direction for it. Let me put my two chats where I can see both of them. I'd like to see Ice and Lightning get the biggest boost, Water with the smallest. I don't think that'll happen though. I want to see Wind show some signs of life beyond resolving Luso. Let's dive in. Okay, so Legacies, we have Minfilia, Axstar. It's pretty cool. I didn't realize Axstar, second katana looked that cool. And Une, all pretty good choices. Alright, this should be a new card. So, never mind. Oh, okay, cool. So this is the fire one. That's solid. The cost of this is really nice. 1 CP to add a 7k ping on attack. It's only good with something like a realm, I imagine. But like, as a second witch thing you could play, you could do a lot worse than this. That's not bad. I love derpy Ryoma Ito art. It's so good. Clive. Alright, that was known. That was also known. Black Mage. Okay. Okay, so this is a full cycle. Put it in the break zone, choose forward, deal at 5k, only did fire forward, entry field this turn. I like this cycle. I think it's actually really interesting. The wind one was already shown, but the fact you don't have to dull this means that as long as you can fulfill both of them, which LB makes trivially easy, like this could just be a Brynhildr. If you, like a backup that's also a Brynhildr, which I think is really cool. I think this is a really strong cycle of backups, potentially. Salamander, we knew. Joshua. Cost 1, primes for 3. And he recycles himself. Okay, he's absurd. We've already seen Phoenix. Phoenix is a really strong card. Joshua being cost 1 is actually kind of wild. I'm surprised that, like, I was expecting Phoenix to cost 6 to prime into. This is going to require you to get backups into play because it's 1, and then they also want you to pay a lot of fire. Like 3 means that you have to have a fire backup and a fire card in hand. But this is pretty doable. And like I said, he recycles himself, which is pretty absurd. Setia, we knew about. I'm hoping we see like some Crystal Gen stuff at some point, because like these are all at common so far, and I have not seen any good way of making crystals in the set so far. Takatsugu, we knew about. Human. Oh, this is the fire version of this cycle. So this is a second cycle of backups. 3 cost on entry, it draws a card. And if you have 4 more of the same color, it does something. So this one is 7k damage. This is fine. I think the cycle of backups in general is pretty good. Cycling and digging for cards is never bad. Fire might actually like this more than a lot of other elements, just because there's not that many good fire backups right now. This could easily slot in over like a samurai or something if you just don't want crystals. It also is just funny seeing human on a card. Neon. No IGN, I don't need anything. Very sad. I don't think these cards are any good. Because they look so good. Like, I love the art on these. Bahamut, we've seen. Also seen that Bahamut. We've seen Phoenix. Let's make sure the translation was right. Attacks or primes into it, fire 4 to cost 2. Yeah, really strong. That might be some of the best cards in the set so far. Firion, we knew Joseph. We knew Umaro. So that's it for fire. Yeah, the highlight here for sure is Joshua. I think Ifrit and Clive are solid. Umaro, we've seen. Ulmia. Enters the field, choose a character, freeze it. If you control a category 11 forward, opponent also discards a card. So what are the category 11 forward you could run here? You have like Shantoto, Camelot, and Mono Ice, but usually you want Camelot to be coming in after you already have backups in play. This is interesting. This is not bad for a common. Kurasame. That is a terrible name. But that's a decent card. If you play him off of 3 backups, 4 CP, freeze 3 characters is pretty decent. If you get to 4, which is not difficult in like an Ice Lightning deck, the big problem is that he doesn't do anything early, and Ice right now is trying to be aggressive. Very easily could be special fodder for the other Kurasame as well. No, that's a decent card. Go-Go. I figured Ice was going to have a lot of a mono because we haven't seen any Ice so far. In the category 6 forward of the Go-Go's, put from the field in the break zone, add to your hand, will trigger once per turn. Okay. I feel like you need to be able to proc this yourself. None of the Cat 6 forwards break themselves, right? I guess Cyan does now. Like, there's the new Cyan that like can protect something and then add himself back, which could be good. You could like reuse his ETB. You pay 4 for that, protect something, get it back, it's a do it again. It also kind of gives you a buffer protection if like your Edgar dies on your opponent's turn, because it happens on both players' turns. That's a weird one. I don't know how to evaluate that. We've seen that. We've seen Shiva. We've seen Genesis. Seen Zalera. Let's make sure the translation was right. Yep. Same. Really, this thing's absurd. This thing looks really good to me. Shantoto. Jill. Squall. This is one we hadn't seen. Enters the field, field the break zone, choose a dull forward, deal at 5k. Special gains 1000 power first strike. It's a Thea Rhythm common. I like these holding a little triangle though. That's cute. This would be really good and limited. It's nice that it's enter and dice, but other than that, this is not really a constructed quality card. Obviously, it is funny that it's above curve. I wouldn't have expected that. Terra, we've seen her. She's really good. Torgal, Ice Backup. Cost required to cast your icon forward or dominance can be paid with CP. Whoa. That is weird. So if there is like a dominant deck, you can splash off-color dominance because of Torgal. It's a 2-cost ice backup, so it's searchable a gazillion ways with like Emina, and then you just run other target. Like you can run 3 of this, 3 Emina, and then like any other decent ice like 2-drop backup, and then you can play any dominant you want. Huh. So there, but the thing is that like, I feel like if you do 2 colors of priming, like say you wanted to run, we've seen Clive and Ifrit, right? Or Clive and Ifrit and Shiva and Jill. Say you wanted to run Fire Ice Dominance, you don't necessarily need Torgal for that. And then like the third one you want to run is probably a Bahamut or Odin, which still doesn't need Torgal. I guess we need to see what the other priming support is, but I mean, you'll play this regardless because of the discount on Jill. I think is almost worth it, making Jill cost. She costs 1 with this. Yeah, play Torgal turn 1, Jill turn 2, Prime on turn 3 if you needed to. Seems really good. Yeah, this is going to see a lot of play. Pisco Demon we have seen. Boonavels. This is our other legend. Okay. 7 cost 10k. Job God from Mobius and 13th. This won't have a full art. When Boonavels enters the field, you put any number of forwards or monsters you control to the break zone. When you do so, your opponent selects 1 forward for each character they put in the break zone. Put them in the break zone. Your opponent discards 1 card for each character you put into the break zone by this effect. So this is kind of an ice board wipe. Oh, this seems really expensive, but really strong. I mean, my initial thought is going to go immediately to Realm. Realm can pull out stuff to make this guy, like... You go Realm into this, and then this guy sacrifices Realm plus the monsters he pulls. You could potentially have a 1-cost forward into a 7-cost that makes your opponent discard 3, which is a lot faster than it comes online. And you can play other elements. You can get different abilities off of those monsters. But you have to be willing to go wide for this. There's also, like, ice water has never been a great combination outside of, like, that very short stint. Umara, that is cute. Yeah, you're right. Does Umara get himself back? Other than Umara. Or I think Go-Go. Gotcha. Okay. I was wondering if you could, like, sack Go-Go and get him back with it, but no. Interesting. Okay, that seems really powerful. You just need to have monsters you're willing to throw away. I feel like monsters are going to be better than forwards for this. Velis, we had seen very late last night. Medius, this card's really good. Numo. God, that is... Why isn't he forward? Like, this could easily hit a backup. I still like this cycle, but this one seems, like, especially weak. I guess they're kind of giving you, like, a 2 CP summon worth. Cause, like, or, like, an Opus 1 2 CP summon. Which is, like, Dull Freeze a forward, 5k to a forward, activate 2 characters. Okay. Sure. This is one of the weaker ones in the cycle, though. If it hit character, maybe. Okay, so that's it for ice. I like it. I think that's pretty solid. Okay, Ash, this is another late spoiler. So we've seen her. We've seen Balfour. We've seen Vaughn. We've seen Vieira. We've seen Onion Knight. Garuda enters the field, or when Benedicta primes into Garuda, activate all the backups you control. Okay, that's a good line of text. Attacks, choose 2 forwards, point control. Oh! That's a pretty good card. Plays really nicely with something like a Tidus. She's a free cast, which, granted, you could do this for 4, but not with upside. And there's a non-zero chance you could just play this against aggro, drop it early, and then just continuously bounce your opponent's stuff. She's got a big enough butt where it's going to be hard to block her if you're doing that. It seems solid. I like this without seeing Benedicta. Benedicta's going to matter a lot for this as well. Thief. This seems like one of the weaker ones of the cycle. Cannot be blocked for 1 forward is really mediocre text. I don't know. They're really pushing that for wind lately. It's Dane. We've seen June. Again, more crystal stuff, and I've not seen a single card that makes a crystal for limited. I really don't know what they're going for with these. Leechbat, we've seen. Sophia, we've seen. Tidus, we've seen. Nono, we've seen. Bartz. Oh, that's really relevant, actually. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, Benedicta. Benedicta enters the field. She gains haste. And she has first strike. So you go Benedicta. Yeah, that's actually pretty solid. So you play, she gains haste on damage 3. And then you prime.
Which would be good in the regular wind deck.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is going to be space. The wind deck is pretty tight.
Right.
But this is 4 CP, activate your backups. She goes CP positive if you can find a use for the 1 extra CP. Okay, interesting. Damage 3 haste. So that also gives you a better chance against the aggro stuff. Is what they're trying to go for. Bounce is a pretty weak outside of water. I guess it could depend on how much priming really comes into play. Belgiumine we've seen. This card is really absurd. Minwoo we've seen. Wingwraith. That's it for wind. Okay, Ash. Kusith. Cloud. Titan. Alright. I imagine Titan's going to be a board wipe. Cannot become dull. Has Brave, can't become dull. Enters the fielder when it primes into it. Choose a forward who doesn't pay 3. This seems really weak to me. He's just a big idiot, and your opponent is even able to pay to, like, not take the damage. And it only does it on entry or on priming. Like, am I missing something? Like, this seems, like, exceptionally weak to me. Like, relative to, like, the other ones, like, this does not seem very good at all. Like, unless, like, Hugo is, like, super cheap, or the prime costs like nothing. I can't fathom playing this guy. It's not even 60, like, this could be 60p kill a guy, and I really wouldn't be excited to play him. Cactites. Noctis. Oh! I mean, he's a little expensive, but this is not a bad effect. Not a bad effect. This could see play. Also pairs really well with Emmett Selk. This is a good card. Yeah, Bosch plays a Leo, plays Fran if that's ever relevant. Um, that's a good card. Yeah, it doesn't work with the Regis from last set. You can't win them all. I mean, it's almost better that he costs 6 though, because it pairs better with what Earth is currently doing. Lorcakis, yeah. Bosch. Okay, let's see if this is the right translation. 2K and Brave, top 3 out of 12, put the rest in the break zone. Yeah, no, the text was right. It's a weird card. I don't know what to make of it. Um, yeah, the Wind one's like one forward can't be blocked, and the Earth one like all your forward. That cycle's. I think the power level of the cycle in general is really good, but like it's very weird how inconsistent the text is on the cards. Hugh Yerg, more playing cards. Job Warrior. Oh dear. Okay. Search for an Earth forward of cost 1. Earth forward with a forward of cost 1 enters your field. Choose a forward against 2K and Brave. So Suzuki's and Leo and Mira. I'm guessing it's supposed to play Leo from the deck. Very funny that they accidentally made Leo support, like, how many sets later. Yeah, this could see play. This is not bad. Yeah, Leo's the cannon target. It's just funny that, like, they've printed how many Leos, and then, like, this one plays with the Leo from, like, Opus 6. Which isn't even the playing card. Oh, no, there is the playing card Leo that also cost 1. So that is probably the cannon target. Yeah, Leo. These cards are so cool. Hugo. Yeah, Hugo, they did you dirty, my friend. You suck. 4 CP, your opponent discards a card. Like, this would be bad in Ice. Like, ew. Um, Not that Earth really needs the help, but that was not what I expected Hugo and Titan to do. This card is so cool. This is some of my favorite art in the set. These two. White Monk. Okay. Very funny that it's not named Monk, so it doesn't work with the Monk deck. But this is a good card. This is the kind of thing that you would need for a like monster break to be playable. It's just like a decent backup. Okay, Tori, I see how it is. Like a decentish backup on its own that like can pretty cheaply answer something like that. I like this. I think this is a well-designed card. Removal, Moors, Stola, Lightning, Ruglia. Again, more crystal stuff. No way to make the crystals. They're all in common too. Like some amount of your draft deck is going to have to be these idiots, and they don't do anything, and you can't get the discount on them. So weird. Oh, hey, there's the target. Why couldn't they have used this art for the limit break? This is so cute. And this card will not see any play because he has the worst name you could possibly have. I think the card, for what it's worth, is actually not bad. Right? Am I missing something? Like, this is pretty decent. This card cracks me up. I love it so much. Fuck this forward in particular. Dull it, freeze it, loses power, deal it damage. Ugh. Odin, Guardian. See, I actually really I think like this is a really good ability on entry, by the way. Um, Dulling two forwards on a 1 CP backup like this is like one of the best of these effects if you're trying to push for lethal. Juggler. I mean, that's fine. That's a good card. Yeah, that's decent. That could see play. Sidolphus. Enters the field, search for... With EX, I was wondering if any dominants were going to have bursts. That's a huge advantage, having a burst. And there are good lightning summons, too. Like, I would play this almost unironically without the Ramu. Okay. What? Um, am I missing something? They seem to have missed a big block of text right here. The art is like, this is some of my favorite art that like I've ever seen for the game. I don't get what it's supposed to be doing. Why is it a 3K? I mean, I guess like its combat power doesn't matter, but like this should have text. And it's a rare even. Okay. Alright, VV. Hey, it's my spoiler. Behemoth. Mid. Okay, I was pretty sure we'd get a mid backup. Not what I thought she would do, but that's reasonable, honestly. It's gonna feel really funny when somebody plays that null on me unlimited and you just kill it with a wing wraith. I mean, Sid looks like a pretty solid card, and like generically recovering anything, like even at a bit of a cost. This is like a really decent backup to play like on an early turn and then crack later if you need to. Could be a decent one of in like the mono lightning lists. Well, she is going to be relevant and limited because she's another card named Lightning. If you end up pulling the legend, you need copies of this idiot. Other than that, that is a she's above curve. All these Theorhythm guys are above curve. It's very weird. There's another Warrior of the Crystal. No crystal yet. Ramu. Summon of cost 5 or less without paying the cost. So this kind of just says kill 2 guys then. Does not specify it has to be lightning. You can cast any summon. So, and you're guaranteed the summon because Sid is going to search for a lightning summon for you. This seems good. What was Sid? Sid cost 3, priming was 2? Or was priming 3? I think Sid might be one of the only ones I could see priming being more expensive than just... Yeah, 3 and 3. So... Again, I see this. This is a really nice... kind of an anti-aggro line. Sid has burst as well. This seems really good. I like this. I like this a lot. And I think that this is a line that's less reliant on Ramuh because I think Sid is unironically playable enough on his own. Right? And if you're on a large number of summons, Ramuh only gets better. Ramza. I mean, this is going to be a house unlimited. Like, this card basically says unblockable. I don't see this seeing play elsewhere. Also, Ramza's jobs are all over the place for some reason. Like, he just does not have consistent jobs. One of his cards is randomly also a warrior. Most of them are knight. Leon. Oh, whoa, a legend. 1 CP 9k. That's not a good start. Enter the field, choose a damage forward, deal it 4k. Okay, not a good start. Chosen by your opponent's ability, they gain control of him. Control 1 OS job rebel, Leon deals you 1 damage. So the idea is that, like, if your opponent steals them, it's going to burn them to steal it. And if they don't steal it, then you have a 1 CP 9k that, assuming, like, you have, like, any rebel in play, you don't take the damage. But I mean, he's a really unreliable blocker. Weirdly, summons don't steal him. It's only abilities. Right? I'm not reading that wrong? And the downside only comes into play if your opponent has something that targets. Which in this meta, there's really not that much. I mean, the scariest thing is probably, like, Axstar stealing it, but Axstar might just kill him on accident. And yeah, you can steal him back. I don't love it, but I don't think this is I started reading and I thought this sounds terrible. But I don't think it is unplayable. I just don't think it's great. Astrius, Willweaver, BE. So you have 7 or more. Reduced by 2. When it attacks... Oh, this is a legend. 7 or more BE. Or RFG'd. So tries to play nicely with either your opponent misdragoning you or if you're in mono water with Elena. Reduced by 5, so it costs 2. When it attacks, either do a point of damage or shrink something. BE cards. But there aren't a lot of BE monsters. Not that many BE backups. This does not seem very good to me. Oh, right. He costs 5, not 7. He 7 for the reduction. Free is good, and there is nothing that shuffles your opponent's break zone back into the deck. So in the mid game, if you build your deck in a particular way, you get a free 9K that your opponent has to deal with. Maybe it's not that bad. Like, free casts are always pretty decent. Annoyingly, the card that I think of for BE stuff is in Mono Wind. And that deck plays Mog BE, 2 Citra, 3 Fina right now, which is 6. Tyvus, Axstar. So you'd have to stretch a little bit potentially for it, but you could make this work. And like I said, once you get to the condition, they cannot turn the condition off. Hmm. Okay. We don't have a card like this. I really don't know how to evaluate it. Yeah, it definitely meant for the Warrior of the Crystals deck, but Mari. Yep. Corsair. I mean, Water didn't need a good one of these, but this is not going to be any good, I don't think. Um, isn't this almost actively bad to get the bonus effect? Outside of specifically trying to recover a card, I would almost consider this a downside for Water. Even recovering it, you don't get it back to hand. You still have to. Yeah, it slows your deck out in a deck that already is going to lose deck out by 8 cards. The extra 2 cards you could theoretically recover with a Corsair aren't, or I guess 3 if you crack a backup and then play another one, aren't going to win you the deck out war. Not that Water needs a good 3 CP backup to draw the card. Goodness knows they have enough of those idiots. Jekt. Jed. I think that is good enough for one deck in particular. Just barely. Um, but I think this card actually could find a home. Yeah, wow. No, it's the best of Sappho team. It's not saying much, but this has implications because of the job being Samurai, and how it plays with Tenzin. Because now Tenzin can get a water card, which I think matters. A lot, actually, that Tenzin can get water cards now. Also, yeah, the other guy is okay in Soiree, but Soiree, I don't consider to I don't think about Soiree when I'm thinking about decks now because I think Soiree is so far past its prime that I would never consider it for a major tourney. Um, yeah, and Samurai is just going to naturally generate crystals anyway. So if you do have to field the Jed, he's going to have the Brave, and he's also going to be able to draw cards and help you dig towards your win condition and draw at the right time. This card is unironically relevant, I think. Stiltkin! I mean, it's cute. I don't. Oh, it only plays Moogle forwards. Never mind. It's not very good. I thought it played Moogle backups as well, and like maybe you could use it in that situation, but if it only gets forwards, then definitely not. Strago, hero backup. Not too many of those, especially that cost 6. Enters the field, discarding damage, add to your hand. So 6 CP, recover something from damage and Famfrit your opponent. And then if you can take damage on your own turn, which is really hard to do in water, you can repeat the Famfrit. The name is really bad for the 6 deck. I think I would pay 4 for this if I couldn't repeat the effect. Now this tells me you have to play Larsa and Leviathan. And I don't like either of those cards by themselves. Like, if you could repeat this over and over and over again, it could be really obnoxious, but... I almost, like, wonder if the once per turn is necessary on this guy. Like, if you can go Strago, Leviathan, Larsa, I feel like you kind of just deserve to Famfrit them 3 times at that point, right? It's probably future-proofing. He could get better over time, but I don't think this is amazing right now. This is the common. EX draw a card. That's not bad. Like, this could see play base. Like, it's actually better that it's 3 CP and draw versus 1 CP no draw, I feel like, because then the burst is a lot better. Damage is a pretty weak form of effect, like, but this could see play if you don't want to play like a Lev 6 or if you're just like really stacking with water summons with bursts. But I think probably we're past the point where this card is good now. Like, you also are competing with like the 2 CP Leviathan and such. Cecil, back up. Put in the break zone, choose a forward, next damage delta to 0. Choose a forward, put in the break zone. That's a perfectly okay common. Tidus we've seen. Peren. Job where the crystals put fill in the break zone, gain a crystal. So this is supposed to be the engine for it. Also, damn, I don't think boobs work that way. It's a really slow crystal gem. So at least it's not. They stopped doing the once per turn thing on making crystals now, which is good. Another engine. I guess against the light hero then. Moogle FFTA. It's Leviathan if you play a water forward. Unironically playable card actually. Just because I think a 2 CP Leviathan that also doubles as a backup is potentially really good. And water also, you could just tap this, play Leo, and then Leo can sack the backup to do the action ability. This could see play. This is what Stiltskin's supposed to play. For each Moogle other than Mog 6, it gains 1,000. Fill in the break zone, discard a Moogle, play it onto the field goal. This seems really bad. He can get really big. I guess you could discard a Moogle backup to replay him, but I'm never doing that. So, no, I think this card sucks. Okay. Really cute art, though. Marlboro, Sopho. Super cool boss, actually. These are also normal enemies in Sopho, too, aren't they? Lose their abilities and 3,000 power. Well, at least doesn't draw a card. No, I don't think this is. With Witch, this is maybe better than. Like, for the purpose of play and then sack with Witch, it's better than Piranha. But you're never playing this over Piranha. Leviathan, super cool. Realm, what are they thinking? Waka, actually a good card. Okay. And it does kill Leo by itself. Like, there are uses for it for sure. Oh, the hero limit. It's a limit break card. No, it's not. Okay, Lucio. That's right. Yeah, it'd be alphabetical. Search for 2 crystals. Oh. Hmm. We've never had 1 CP make 2 crystals before. But I don't think there's a. Is there a Warrior of the Crystal and Lightning? No, there is. It's one that gives haste. It's terrible. Um. Yeah. It can't be played until post combat. But I'm thinking, like, if I'm playing crystals, I want to be in lightning. This is maybe the best engine to turn on. Like, if you have this plus the Emperor is alive immediately for 4 CP worth of stuff. So you might run the lightning guy as just a garnet you can search with this guy to not make him cost 5. Also funny that they don't actually do anything when Lucio enters the field, like, or they can't like buff Lucio stuff. Special's really good. I don't think this is a deck though, is it? Yeah, it really is just like, is it worth it to run these really shitty cards in your deck to gain a metric crapload of crystals? It is a good glacial, especially. You're right. And he generates the crystals himself. Oh wait, hold up. And the water one also gets crystals when other ones die. And he gives you 2 crystals to do. Oh god. Yeah, maybe water lightning crystals could be a thing then, with like Glaciella and the Emperor, and you just like. That's like maybe the best thing Glaciella can copy, right? I would. It's cheaper than Glacella's special. It's not damage based. It doesn't go to the break zone. And one of the reasons Glaciella didn't pair well with other stuff was how hard it was to get them into play. This guy just cost 1. Yeah, it's 2 crystals per turn. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get 2 crystals every single turn cycle. And then if you stick a Glaciella next to this guy, you just get to like pay 1 CP to remove something from the game every like as many times as you want per turn. You just have to run a lot of really bad cards that you can search to make this work. Yeah, Lilith. Yeah, Dario breaking backups was like the next closest. There's something here, and if you're in water with all these BE guys, that enables the water legend as well to like be a free cast that like your opponent like can end the game. And you don't mind running 3 of this guy because the special is so good. There might be something here. And I think the water one of these is like not bad. And you're right, you can still play the off color ones. You don't even have to run the really bad ones if you don't want. You probably run at least 1 lightning one if you have to be in lightning for this deck, I imagine. So you might run the lightning one anyway just to get the CP for it. But you're right, you can play if there's a better one of these Warrior of the Crystals. You could just play the off color ones and spend the crystals. This is a really interesting deck. Yeah, there's something here, maybe. Odin. We've seen Barnabas. We've seen Raph. She actually gets a lot better as well. God, I can't imagine you're playing both this, her, and Lucia, right? Because like if she sticks on the field and she even protects herself, then you can't play a Lucio you draw. Yeah, LB fodder as well. That's like maybe the lightning one being also just card name Cloud is good enough, right? Tenzin, I love this card. This card's so cool. I hope he's like decent. Okay. I think Zidane's going to be Theorhythm support. Let's see if I'm right. No, he's not. They didn't do it. No, no. Just no. I'm not willing to gamble for a four. If I want to draw a card, I can play Leo. I'm not going to gamble that the top of my opponent's deck is not a four-color deck. And a weird evasion is not worth it. They hate wind LBs, don't they? Like really, truly. And the name is terrible. They have broken the curse. They have printed a crappy Zidane. I mean, you might still play it because wind LBs suck so bad, but like this is terrible. Ew. Celsius. It was not monk support. This is the fire ice guy, isn't it? Weird. Dealt damage becomes 0. Cannot be broken by abilities that don't deal damage. LB1 5 CP 9K. I don't think this is particularly playable. I don't think that's true at all. RB, I think that Wind actually needs good LBs because the problem with they can't push Wind forward. Like Wind is not already the best deck in the game, and I don't think that having a decent LB is going to change that. Because what Wind is going to start to doing is what they've already done, which is, or they just keep, you either play two aces or you like splash Philo so you can play Leos. Like, or you splash the class Moogle so you can play Noctis. Um, I do not believe that Wind's LBs are crap because of Luso. I don't believe that. If that's the case, that they shouldn't print anything good for water, and they can't stop printing good water LBs. Gilgamesh. Well, that was not what I was expecting. What is he supposed to be killing with that first one? You might no, I wouldn't play this. I wouldn't play this even in my yeah, but you can just play Cloud. Like Cloud exists. Like this is LB1, I guess. I'm like trying to think like would I have played this in my Ice Lightning deck? I don't think I would have. And Mono Lightning doesn't really have like I mean you might play it over like the edge slot, but no. I really don't care that much for Moto LBs. Like both of these mode like I guess second mode is unique, but the first mode is just bad cloud. I'm not into this at all. I think this card kind of sucks. This card's absurd. Okay. Ice Wind, 5 CP. This is some more of our mono art. If you control 4 or more ice characters, it's Thoughtseize. 4 or more wind, it gains haste. I mean, you definitely will play this in Icewind. The big problem that I wonder. Like, traditional Icewind plays like 10 ice cards. And, like, if you have the ice backup plus Sid plus Lock, you could get the Thoughtseize effect on this guy. But that's it. That's the only way you get that. I guess you could now run like Terras and go a little further. Like it's not a bad card, like at all. And unironically, like that ice mode is absurd. If you could just like cheese the wind, which the ice Moogle makes wind. Like the ice decks might actually play the class Moogle so they can run this. And get Thoughtseize from the Limit Break deck. That actually seems really good. Like Fire Ice, but you can just randomly make like some play this guy and steal from their hand. This actually seems really good. Ice doesn't have access to this effect either. Like this is completely unique for Ice. I think there is a chance for this guy. Okay, so this should be a modal one. Limit break. Choose a damaged forward, break it. I guess that's the wind effect. Choose a forward, they fight. It's okay. It's either a mediocre cloud or like if you can get small ping, which is not too difficult to do in wind. um yeah, I don't know why he's below curve. Or like Earth Wind guys are always above curve too. Like that's their thing. Is that like all the Earth Wind guys are like big. Um, I don't think this is bad. I'll play this. I'll play the heck out of this guy over what I've got. But and you're right. With Noctis, you can do a double punch, which is really good. Like we're reprinting that crystal. Okay, so that's the full set. So let's go back through one more time. This is, I think, probably the best of the Moto LBs. I think this is probably the best of the non, or no, sorry, the non ones, or sorry, the of the Czech LBs. I think this is the best. Of the modals, I actually really like Iron Giant. Although this guy's not bad. Hilariously, the 3 LBs we'd already seen are the only actually good ones. Ultimate Weapon's fine. Yeah, you're right. I think the Warrior of the Crystal stuff is actually kind of interesting. Partly just because of how good that Lucio plays with Glaciella and with the Emperor. Um, this is, I think, one of the hardest ones to assess. I could see this being played. Just don't know how excited people are going to be to do so. Ramu and Sid are really good. I really can't believe this is the only text on this card. Yeah, Sid is really good. Um, in Earth, I mean, Lightning pops, obviously. I think Lightning is absurdly strong. I think Hugo and Titan are awful. Hugh Yerg is decent, for sure. Bosch could see play. Noctis could see play. Benedicta, Garuda seem decent, but I don't think Wind is in any different a position than it was last set for the most part. I don't think anything changes for Wind. They might play Garuda. They might even not play Benedicta, honestly. Like, to be completely honest, like, you might just play Garuda and not play Benedicta. And use Garuda as, like, a win condition when you're ahead. And Pandemonium searches Garuda as well, so you can actually do one Garuda, one Vaughn, and run Pandemonium, and then you could search whichever one is better for the right situation. I would not be surprised to see that be a thing where it's like, okay, now Pandemonium represents 2 casts without using any of your backups. Um, like, and I guess a couple cards in hand. Or Pandemonium plus a card in hand is 2 casts without using a single backup and establishing a threat for future turns, which is, I think, really strong. Yeah, this card is fine. I really like Boonavels. I don't know if it's good enough because it is a bit of a reciprocal effect. Like, you still have to get your opponent, like, you still have to build a field of forwards and monsters, and I don't know that Ice is capable of doing that fast enough to make this cost worth it. Torgal's really cool. Don't know how much play he's going to see. Probably the thing you could do with Torgal the most is go like Ice Lightning, and then you could play Clive in it. I don't think Benedicta is going to go in non-win decks. Hugo just straight up sucks. You don't want to play Joshua outside of Fire. I mean, discounting Jill is good, and then, like I said, I think you could do like the trio, like the Clive. Like I said, Fire is probably your off color then, because I think if you're on Sidolphus, you need to be on Lightning Summons. Yeah, Terra's really good. I think Jill and Shiva are really really good. Zalera is really good. Genesis is great. Shiva, Cheetah Leader, Go. I don't see the use case for this guy. Like I said, it's a weird protection spell. But, like, it's a really slow one. Kurasame. This guy could see play. Actually, like, I think Ulmia is fine. Yeah, Phoenix and Joshua seem really good. Deadly Nightshade seems good. Really interesting set. I'm excited to kind of brew with this a bit. I do feel like they should have saved the Crystal Gen backups for this set, though, if they could have. Like, I know that, like, you can, in theory, get the hero, but, like, making the Warriors of the Crystals, like, somewhat more playable and limited would have been a really nice thing, and there aren't any backups that make crystals in this set, which I think kind of sucks. So, and yeah, no other Rebel backup. Um, I also don't know why Minwoo isn't Job Rebel in this set. Like, he's just Job White Mage. Feels like he should be Job Rebel as well. The Bart's backup is unironically huge. I don't think it's played outside of Warriors of Light, but it has the actual jobs, which no other Bart's backup has. Yeah, this will see play. Absolutely. Even if it's just as a one-of in like traditional Raffia control. Like I would play this. Would I play this over the? I would play this over Ingus. I think. Maybe not. No. It's better than Ingus. All right. With that. Yeah. I'm not worried about time magic. I'm not big on time magic Barts. I'm bigger on just the I will draw my backups. I mean, they don't want to just straight power creep the ones from like Opus 21. I sort of get that. They really just should have not printed the like if they wanted to reprint the Crystal Gem backup, they should have just waited till this set to do it. I don't think they would have rotated out. I could be wrong. Last set, so I think they were reprinted in like 21. But I do like both of the cycles of backups in this set, though. I think they're all really good. I think that is going to do it for me. Hope you guys all.